Okay, so just jumping right into it, the explanation of my content. So I would reintroduce the topics that we had gone over the previous day in class, such as concepts like observation, which is receiving knowledge of the outside world through our senses and recording that information using scientific tools and instruments, and then as well as inferences, which is the conclusion based on the evidence that they've just observed. And then I will introduce new vocabulary words that coincide with the activity that we're going to be doing today, such as working, which is moving a load over a distance, a machine, which is a tool or device that makes work easier, a force, which is a push or pull that makes something move, and then wheel and axle, which is like the core of this activity, is a simple machine that is a disc or ring attached to a rod that both turn together. So the demonstration of the content, students will be divided into groups of 2 or 3 and spread throughout the room at tables with their materials in front of them, like in a box that's sealed so they don't like start playing with it when they get to their groups. I would begin the lesson by reading a little excerpt of what the wheel and axle is and how it all kind of started. And then I will tell the kids to open up their boxes and they'll just kind of take a look at the materials, kind of take them all out and lay them on the table so they have a chance to see what exactly is there that they can use. And then the students will then take a look at each box is going to have a copy of the procedure paper in it, and it has the directions and then also this chart that they have to copy down into this area on their little worksheets. So this just kind of helps them organize the observation and the separate trials that we're going to do. And then they will begin to construct the wheel and axle. So in the box there is the box with, it's got 2 holes on the sides, and then there will also be a pencil. I didn't sharpen this one, but it could be sharp, it doesn't have to be. And then a paper clip, and then there is a string that's about 12 inches long. So the directions say to bend the paper clip so it forms an L shape, like so. And then we're going to tape the loop end of the paper clip against the side of the pencil that sticks out. So just choose either side because it's not sharpened. And then you're just going to place it flat on there. Grab a piece of tape and just tape the paper clip to the pencil, like so. And then we are going to slide the pencil through our box and then tie one end of the string securely to the other side of the pencil and then tape the string in place. So on this side I'm going to take my string. This is kind of hard to show, but I'm just gonna tie it in a simple little knot, maybe. Like that, and then I'm going to take a piece of tape and just tape around that knot that we just made. So then you have your paper clip side and your side with the string on it. And so the kids are also going to have a bunch of different little objects that they are going to use their wheel and axle system. So right now I have these. There's also going to be a green little pull string bag that they're going to put all the objects in. But right now I have marbles, so that's what we're going to do first. We're just going to stick the marbles in the bag. And then after we stick the marbles in the bag, we're going to pull the drawstring, and then it says to tie to the other end of the string. So this is the first end, so this would be the other end of the string. I'm just going to do a little loop around the top of the bag. Maybe do it twice just to make sure it's secure and not going to go anywhere. Okay. So then you have your box with your pencil and then your baggie that's attached to the string in your pencil. So then we're going to hold the crate in our hand, the box, and use the paper clip as a handle, and then you're just going to turn it and it should pull up the drawstring bag until it is touching the pencil. And so then the kids would kind of write down their observations on their worksheet, and in the chart they have a bunch of different items that they'll use, and then there's 2 different columns. One says easier, one says harder. So then they're going to determine which of the objects was easier to pull up on the wheel and axle, and which one was more difficult. So I guess I'll repeat them with repeat that step with a few other examples of that. Okay, so then I'm going to, I did the marbles, so that was one of the things in our list of objects. So now I'm going to untie the bag, which is a little difficult. And then I'm going to empty out the marbles, and the next item I have they're 10 paper clips. So got the bag open, so I'm going to take the marbles out, put those aside. I'm going to put my paper clips in my baggie. Closed. And then tie my string back around my bag. And then, so I got my string pulled, then hold the crate, grab the paper clip, and twirl it up. Paper clips are a lot easier than the marbles. So I'd write down my observations, and then untie the bag and move on to the next item. The kids, while they're in their groups, should be taking turns doing the holding the box part of this, and so like maybe every item the kids would switch, so Johnny got to do it one time and then Colleen got to do it the other time. So I'm finished with the paper clips, so now I have these little cap erasers is what I had on hand, but in reality what I'd like to use in my classroom would be those big pink erasers, because they're going to be a little heavier than the marbles, so then the kids could really observe the weight difference. But this is what I had on hand, so we're gonna put the erasers in the baggie, pull it closed, tie it up, then hold the box, twirl it up, and then write down observations. And then there's also some of the other items were some crayons, like 5 crayons, and then a paper cup with water was an option, but I don't know if I would want to do that with my kids, because that seems like it would be messy, and so I might just stick to like solid objects that don't involve water, so like your erasers, your crayons. There's also, it says to use a book but I think that would be a little difficult given that you're supposed to put the objects in the baggie, or like I don't know how you would tie the book to this short little string, so that might be a little difficult, so I might not do that one. And then we would go down into our gathering area after all of the students have completed the worksheet, and then just kind of go over what we observed and just kind of talk about it and see what their inferences are, what they thought was going to happen, what actually happened, and just kind of share and reflect on that.